First, let's get much more reaction to this big breaking news. Our reporter Dharmesh Sheth is alongside me. Dharmesh, just bring us up to speed with what exactly has happened this morning.
Look, this has escalated very, very quickly, Bella. We got wind of the fact that Tottenham were going to sack Jose Mourinho. They have, as Rob mentioned there, released that statement confirming that. I'm just reading between the lines on this statement, and it's very interesting because the most interesting bit for me is we regret that things have not worked out as we both had envisaged. So Daniel Levy, the Tottenham chairman, hasn't actually pinpointed the reasons for Jose Mourinho leaving Tottenham Hotspur. Is it down to results purely and utterly, or is there another factor at play? Look, should we be surprised that Tottenham have sacked Jose Mourinho? On the face of it, if you just look at results in isolation, perhaps not. They're 7th in the league. They're now 5 points off the top 4. They're out of the FA Cup, and they had that stunning exit from the Europa League when they were 2-0 up against Dinamo Zagreb in the first leg, and then managed to and contrived to get knocked out 3-0 away from home. He's been in charge of 86 games, 51% win ratio, so he's won 44 of those 86 games. However, when I talk about the results of the last 5 Premier League games, Tottenham have only won once. Europa League, of course, there was that exit, as I've just mentioned. There were lots of fans who were critical, weren't they, of the style of play. A lot of the pundits, when on Super Sunday, on Monday Night Football as well, when they were talking about Tottenham and how they were playing, were very critical of Jose Mourinho's tactics. Why are they not really going for it when they go ahead in games? Why are they always being pegged back? This was always a question that was being asked. When you take all of that into consideration, it shouldn't come as a surprise because results alone. But I just find the timing of this announcement is very, very interesting. They've got a game against Southampton in the Premier League on Wednesday night. Remember, they are 5 points off the top 4, but then you could say they're only 5 points off the top 4. They could narrow that gap down to 2 points. They're still in the fight. And perhaps most significantly, Jose Mourinho has taken them to a major final. That final is against Manchester City in the EFL Cup, and it's this Sunday. So 6 days before a major final that Jose Mourinho has got them to, Tottenham have decided that this is the time that his services are no longer required. So surprised on results alone and in isolation, perhaps not. Timing, very much so.
The thing is, Mourinho is one of the most decorated managers. His CV speaks for itself, doesn't it? So why hasn't it worked out for him at Tottenham?
Many, many reasons, isn't there? He came in November of 2019, and I think there are a lot of people who are quite surprised with that appointment, given Tottenham had put all their faith and their long-term faith in Mauricio Pochettino. Right, this is the way forward for this football club. We believe in Mauricio Pochettino. He got them to the Champions League final, remember, albeit they lost in that 2019 final against Liverpool. And then things deteriorated very, very quickly for Mauricio Pochettino between then and November, and it culminated in his sacking. I don't think many Tottenham fans would have predicted that Jose Mourinho would have been the man to come in, given how they put their faith in Pochettino and how they were looking at the long-term vision of that football club. But Mourinho came in, and if you look at the beginning of this season in particular, things were looking quite rosy in the Tottenham garden. Gareth Bale was back. The Tottenham fans were celebrating, weren't they? I remember our colleague Michael Bridge was very, very enamoured by the fact when he was announcing that outside Tottenham's training ground. Then you had the victory over Manchester City. You had victory in the North London derby over Arsenal. And you had that big one very early in the season when Jose Mourinho went back to his old club, Manchester United, at Old Trafford, and they won 6-1 at Old Trafford. And at that point, there were people thinking, hold on, Tottenham are the real deal here. They've made the right decision. Tottenham could challenge for the title. They could get into the Champions League quite easily. It was almost a given. But could they actually challenge for the title and really challenge for it like they had done when Leicester City won the title back in 2016? But since then, things have deteriorated once again. He always puts his currency in trophies. And for them to have got knocked out of the FA Cup and the Europa League in the way that they have, I just wonder what's going through Jose's mind at the moment, though, because he would have been wanting to be the one to bring that trophy back to Tottenham Hotspur. They haven't won a trophy since 2008, I think, in the League Cup as well. So that's 13 long years. He's taken them to that final. 6 days out from that final, he's no longer going to be leading that team. It'll be Ryan Mason who'll be taking training today.
What about his relationship with the players? Has he fallen out of favour with them?
Look, it's something that's always been pointed at Jose Mourinho. Whichever club he's been at the beginning of his reign, it always seems very, very rosy, and all of the players see a new type of coaching that's coming through from Jose Mourinho. Oh, he's very precise, he's very detailed. In training, he will go through drills all the time till all of his players are on board with what he wants to do. And the issue with that is, if you're not on board with Jose Mourinho, then you're effectively out in the cold. I'll give you an example. Before I even go into Tottenham, when he was at Manchester United, he was quite public in his criticism of a few players, in particular Luke Shaw. You remember Luke Shaw when he played in a Europa League game, and he was asked, Jose Mourinho was, in that news conference after, Luke Shaw played very, very well, didn't he? And Jose was, yes, he did, but it was his body and it was my brain. I was basically telling him what to do. And I just wonder what would go through a player's mind if a manager was saying that about him in public. With regard to Tottenham this season, the big one is obviously Dele Alli. He played in the opening game of the season against Everton, 45 minutes. First half, gets hooked at half-time. Hardly had a look in since. Gareth Bale, there seems to be a situation there. He came to Tottenham to play lots of regular first-team football, doesn't seem to be getting that. So I think that might be an issue in there as well.